But we are going to get into this. We do have Leoric on Greymane and Ethereal Angel on Leoric. This is kind of a weird lane. This is actually one of the weirder decision points for Leoric because Hopelessness is so incredibly good against both Greymane and Stitches in the late game because of all the synergy that's going into his W, but block would help him a lot. Except for the fact that Greymane can take the block charges away with his ranged attacks, which aren't as good, and then dive in with his heavy Worgen attacks and, post block charges and just shred you. So Hopelessness is to guarantee the sustain value is a little bit better. A lot of people think, oh, I'm up against Greymane in the lane, I should go block. It's not quite as simple as that. Now, here's the really difficult part about Dragon Shagger. First W juke. Notice as soon as the W gets juked, he's like, okay, I'm out. I'm not here. I'm just gone. I can't see gem stacks. Wait, am I gonna have to tab? I'm gonna have to tab to see gem stacks. So after the first exchange of blows, Greymane has 1. And Leoric has none. Leoric actually didn't get any of the gems at all. And here's where laning on Tomb of the Spider Queen becomes so weird in the solo lane. It's not enough to have a sustain. It's not enough to not die. It's not enough to grab the soak. You have to be able to walk up and grab those gems every single wave. You have to be able to do that. And Greymane's mobility makes it so that he can juke a significant portion of Drain Hopes. And without Drain Hope, Leoric just realistically does not have the damage to do anything against Greymane's level of damage. So as long as the Drain has been missed, Leoric's forced to back up. And if you manage to make him miss a Drain right as the wave dies and the gem are going to be picked up, then you're in quite a bit of trouble. Notice also Leoric does not clear the wave. He could have cleared the wave, but he actually wanted it to advance a little bit further. He's trying to push it onto his side of the map. This is something we've talked about a lot. Wave manipulation so it's on your side of the map. Ethereal Angel can't really do this. His strength as a laner is that his clear is a little bit more concise and he has the sustain. So he would ideally like to keep the wave mid, but he can't. He has limited windows where he can clear safely because of the restrictions around his W, which means that he can't always be up there attacking the wave. He has to rely on his Q for it in certain narrow windows. And that means that Leoric gets free control of the wave. And you can see Leoric clears part of the wave and then waits. This also makes it easier for him to pick up the gems. And Leoric does leave the lane. There's really not much Leoric can do in the situation, so he does temporarily leave. He gets hooked. He's going to be fine, though. It's something you always have to consider on Tomb in particular. It's because it's a close rotation map. If you're winning your lane, but there's nothing, you're not like a siege hero, there's nothing you can do to push in the lane and actually get the value here, and you have no kill pressure whatsoever, you can just go mid. Help your team clear that wave a little faster, maybe assist with a pick, and then come back. If you're not a wave clear hero, like Thrall, you'll never see Thrall, or very rarely see Thrall, leave the solo lane on Tomb. But if you're a Rag, or a Leoric, or a Rexar, or whatever, there's a real possibility that you can just go help clear. We can see Leoric with this rotation. This 4v4 is going on, and Team Liquid, the call is, oh, we're not going to be able to get mid-soak. Leoric just rotates, grabs mid-soak, because he didn't need to be in the bottom lane, because he has wave clear. And they actually end up missing 3 of these minions in the soak. So again, the solo lane, even if you are the solo laner, if you're on a close rotation map and you have wave clear, you should always be looking for opportunities to take advantage of that wave clear. Wave clear always enables rotations. And we see Leoric now doing the exact same thing. This brawl is going on. He's like, oh, I have wave clear. I can grab that for my team. And then his team is going to get it. Bad betting is right there. And Leoric's going to start to rotate back down. Leoric going in for the pressure. And Ethereal Angel's going to take some free damage here. Backs up and lets his towers take it instead. Notice he does take some damage. He did take Field Team to death. And he gets the globe. So it's actually pretty calculated that he took some of the damage, but not all of it. He didn't want to lose more health than he gains back from the kills on the minions and the globe. You see why Benny is very, very patiently waiting in this bush, but Neuroc's not going to like just dive Ethereal. Ethereal's been playing this very safe. And here's the really important part about Greymane as a solo laner. Yes, he has wave clear. Yes, he has kill potential, but he has no sustain. So if he ever loses a trade in terms of damage, he's suddenly in a position where he has to tap, and if he's already used his tap, then he has to back. And if that comes at a bad time, especially against a wave clear hero, the wave can get pushed in all the way to the towers, and that soak is going to be missed. So Neuroc, you know, could have been playing more aggressively. He could have potentially put some pressure onto Ethereal Angel. There was he could have forced out more Wraith Walks, put some more mana pressure onto him. Notice as soon as the W hits, he just tries to get away. And then, see, the moment he takes any sort of real trade damage, he gets his tap. He's also pre-tapping because he wants to push with the Webweaver wave. And now with the Webweaver wave, he has something to protect, and he sees everyone is mid. It's going to take 2 to 3 Ws or 3 to 4 Ws for Ethereal Angel to actually kill Neuroc. So he's just continuing to pressure in as best he can and get the most out of this. After this Webweaver wave is dead, he can back up completely and get full health and mana. But he wants to make sure he gets the soak if he can, and he wants to at least get the wall for his Webweaver. And as soon as he knows the wall is going to go down, he does immediately back off, and the wall does, in fact, not quite go down. He could have, like, one more auto attack. Almost perfectly calculated. But he picks up mid-soak for his team. And here's where the concept of 4-man on a close rotation map really sort of comes into the fore. If you have a 4-man and they need to always be together, but they can't pick up the mid-soak, and you're a wave clear hero who also happens to be a solo laner, that means you can always rotate and grab it. And we see this dynamic constantly. There was a time last year when teams would draft double tank on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and one of them would be Johanna. And as soon as the Webweaver spawned, you would have like Tyrael on the solo laner, and Johanna would be with the 4-man because she has better wave clear. But as soon as they spawned Webweavers, they would actually send Johanna to double soak 2 lanes, and Tyrael would push with the 4-man. Right? So if you have a 4-man that always wants to be together and you have wave clear, you always need a hero who has wave clear who doesn't need to be with the 4-man, especially in the early game, who can just be on their own. Sometimes this results in like a 3-1-1 if you don't have a really good wave clear hero. A lot of times the solo laner will join the 4-man and Zool will double soak, or Gul'dan, someone like that. Usually not a Gul'dan. Usually Gul'dan's a little bit too valuable for the 4-man and needs to be protected. But so you can see, played correctly. Ethereal Angel, I think only missed 1 W, right? Played correctly, this is a match that Greymane wins. And Greymane wins a surprising number of solo lanes as long as he doesn't have to win a point. So you're not going to draft him on Dragonshire. You're not going to draft him on Braxis for the purposes of solo laning. But you're talking purely about Tomb, where the objective is in lane and all he has to do is clear the wave and pick it up. And he has all that rotational speed and all those escape mechanics on a close rotation map. Greymane is one of the best solo laners for Tomb.